أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا بالقاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللعنة الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليك يا ممتحنة امتحنك الذي السلام عليك يا ممتحنة امتحنك الله الذي خلقك قبل أن يخلقك فوجدك لما امتحنك به صابرة. السلام عليك أيتها الصديقة الشهيدة. السلام عليك أيتها المظلومة المقصوبة. May Allah inshallah reward us for our presence in this majlis, and inshallah it will be zakhira for this dunya and akhirah inshallah. Recite loudest salawat and gift it to Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We ask Allah inshallah to elevate our iman and help us to get closer to Himself and Ahlul Bayt, and inshallah give us tawfiq for being in this majlis, the majlis of Seyed Zahra salamullah alayha, and inshallah it would be a great reward for us to recite another salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. In each and every occasion in Islam, there should be a main question that we have to ask ourselves, and the question should be, what is the message, the lesson or messages that I have to get from that occasion? Sometimes we see that we have Muharram, we have Ashura, sometimes we see it's Ramadan, another time it's Sha'ban and Rajab. We have a lot of occasions, alhamdulillah, in Islam. But I have to ask myself, what is the message or messages, as I said, I have to get from this time and this occasion? What do Allah wants? What Allah wants me to learn from that occasion? And I want to ask this question for myself and you yourself for Fatemiya. What is the message and messages that I have to learn from Fatemiya, so I don't make it and I don't actually consider it as a repetitive behavior or action that every year I have to come here or another place to commemorate the shahadat of Sayyida Zahra salamullah alayha. What is there that I want to learn, I should learn? If I want to get the answer for this question, I have to go to the life and the lifestyle of Sayyida Zahra salamullah alayha to see what is exactly she's trying to tell us by her lifestyle from the beginning to the end. Sometimes when it comes to Ahlul Bayt, we just know that outstanding time of their lives. About Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, we just know about Karbala. Since he left Medina and he went to Mecca and Mecca to Karbala, I know that much. Do I know before that? How much do I know about Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas? Do I know what he was, who he was before Karbala? No. If they gave us a paper and they said there's an essay about Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, write down how many lines and how many sentences or paragraphs I can write down about him. What I know mostly is about that outstanding part of their lives. About Sayyida Zahra salamullah alayha, the same. How much do I know about her? From the beginning to the end, or from the last part of her life? That's usually what it comes to our mind. So what I have to focus here, even for the last one, from the beginning to the last part, we see that one of the most important things that she's trying to teach us is to stay with your beliefs and aqa'id. What you believe in, you have to strengthen those beliefs, and you have to actually stay with your beliefs. In the khutbah of Sayyida Zahra sallallahu alayha in masjid, we see that she starts her khutbah with tawheed, talking about Allah. And then she continues with the topic of Nubuwwah. And then she continues with the topic of Imamah. And then at the end, quickly she mentioned that they occupied the Fadak, the piece of land that was belonged to her. Something that Rasulullah gave it to her and they occupied it. No wonder why we have occupiers nowadays. It started then and before then. So we see that she's trying to tell us whatever is happen, you have to stay with your beliefs and you have to strengthen your beliefs. When you look, you see that the whole Islam is about your beliefs. The whole Islam, your everyday activities that you'd have, it depends on your beliefs. What I do every day is because I believe that's correct, because I think that's what I have to do. The whole message, we see that people around the world, they live based on their messages and their beliefs. We have group of people, they worship cows. In India, there are a group of people, they worship cows. We have group of people, they worship idols, stones and woods. Group of people, they worship multiple gods. Group of people, they worship only one God. And all these groups, every single of these groups, they consider themselves as muhiq. They're right what they're doing. We have hadith. One of the concept that people think they're right is the beliefs. If you go to the person who's worshipping cows, we have some other people that are worse than this, by the way. I can't say it in the member of Rasulullah what they worship. If you go do some research, if you ask them, why do you do this, why you worship this, they said because of this, 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 and this. They think they're right. So the question comes, the message that Zahra is trying to give me is to strengthen my beliefs and stay with my beliefs, not to be lost. Because sometimes I'm lost, I'm confused. I know that Islam is very good, but I go halfway and I leave the other half. It's a little bit, it doesn't make sense. I have to just take, one piece of that. Selectively, I choose what I want. It's not the beliefs that I should get from who. So everybody was said that everybody believes their own beliefs. Then how can I know what I believe is correct or not? Should I, compare it with other people, human beings? No, because everybody thinks they're right. I have to compare it with what? The Creator. To see the one who created us, what He wants us to believe in. What is exactly the message that He wants us to believe? One of the main and the most important thing that Sayyida Zahra, I want to write down, and you'll memorize it probably. One of the most important thing that Sayyida Zahra is telling us is do not assimilate to the dominant culture of your society. That's exactly what happened to her. Everybody was telling her, look, what happened to your father? Consider that. What happened to your father? Forget about this. Now this is a dominant culture. You have to believe in us as the Caliph of Rasulullah and forget about your husband as Imam. She's staying with that and she's saying, you know what? Even the whole society, if you believe in that, I'm not going to follow you in that wrong beliefs. That's the whole problem of the enemies with Zahra. And she taught this to her children. The reason that all Ahlul Bayt became Shaheed is just this, because they stood with their aqa'id and their beliefs. Imam Hussein alayhi salam in Karbala. Imam Hussein, you can just say to Yazid that, you know what, I want to give you oath of allegiance. But you probably can just say it. You don't believe in your heart, but just say it so they won't kill you. No, I have to stay with my beliefs, even if they want to kill me. I don't want to assimilate my beliefs to the bigger and dominant culture. What was the dominant culture? Sham, Ahl Sham, Yazid, he had the power, right? And Imam Hussein could easily say, you know what, now that you have this, so I want to believe in it. They didn't fall into the dominant culture that is not correct. So if I am following Sayyidah Zahra, and if I'm following that path, I have to consider that they're telling me once you found your beliefs, you have to stay with your beliefs and you have to defend it. Unfortunately, sometimes we see that those people that are in the wrong path, they're stronger than those people, they're stronger in their beliefs than those people that are in the right path. We have hadith from Amir al-Mu'mineen. He said to a group of people that they were following him, not Shia. Some people say the Shia of Ali would go to Wahhabis and say, look, these are the Shia of Ali. Ali said, I'm ready to give tens of you guys and get one of the, people from Muawiyah. They're not Shia. Don't ruin the name of Shia. If you see during the whole time, if you see that in Kufa, people are betraying Imam al-Hussein, don't call them Shia of Imam al-Hussein. There's some muhibbeen, some people that they liked Imam Hussein, not even love. Who loved Imam Hussein? Habib ibn Madahir, right? Who loved Amir al-Mu'mineen? Salman Farsi, Abu Dharr Ghaffari. No, there's some we have today's, right? Some group of people, even they're not Shia, they like Ahlul Bayt. Don't ruin the name of Shia. So some group of people that Imam Ali said, I'm ready to give tens of you guys and get one of the people in the army of Muawiyah. Why? Because in their batil they're stronger than you guys in your haqq. Sometimes we hear this and we just go very fast. No, let's go back. If I know that this is haqq, if I know that Islam is telling me do this and that's correct and don't do it, that's not right, why I can't stay with it? That's a topic that our youth, younger, older, they all, are dealing with this topic. What is the problem that I cannot follow Islam fully the way that Allah and Islam wants me to follow it? And, this is important because when you see that people who are looking for dunya, they are fully looking for dunya. If are worshipping Satan, they are really worshipping Satan, and they are really into their batil and the wrongdoings. And then I have to look at myself to see, I know that is correct, but sometimes I look for any justification and excuse to what? To get around the regulations of Allah. I have to pay my homes. Say, is there any way that I can dodge it? Is there any way that I should, how about if I pay in half? How about if you eat, you have the whole meal, if half of it? When it comes to the religion, sometimes we have this problem. Again, the whole problem that the enemies of Ahlul Bayt, look, they don't deny Ashura. No one ignore and deny Ashura. But so far they're denying Fatemiya. No, who said that? Fatima happened? No. They killed Fatima? No, it's impossible. Why? Because Fatemiya is our core beliefs. Because Fatemiya is related to the majority of our beliefs. If you want to get imamah, you have to start with Fatemiya. So Fatemiya is the mother of Ashura. If you want to believe in that. That's why I always urge and recommend parents, be careful with your children. Do not raise them as liberal people that they don't know, they are not strongly into their religions. This is very important. No, if someone knows about Fatemiya and Fatima, most probably they know the majority of the, the aqad and the beliefs that we have. So that's why this is interesting that this message, I want to work on this, that Sayyidah Fatima Salamu Alayha is telling me, first of all, learn about your aqa'id, your beliefs, and stay with your beliefs. So Sayyid just learning from and the knowledge is enough? No, the knowledge is not enough. Many people, they know who are Ahlul Bayt, but because they didn't attach tarbiyah with ta'lim, they didn't attach, iman with their knowledge, they missed it. It's not all about learning. It's about practicing it. It's about following it. Now that I learned, Sayyidah Zahra, she told me, do not fall into the wrongdoings of the bigger society and culture. Now that's my turn how to practice it in action. By knowing it, it's not going to help at all. But I have to actually go ahead and follow it and act upon it. Not only, I said, part of our core beliefs is Fatemiya. Not only she defended, look, one of the most important things she's doing, she's defending imamah, right? Not only she is defending imamah at the time that she's present in this dunya, after her life she's still defending. When you strongly follow your beliefs, after yourself you're still benefiting that beliefs. What do you mean, Sayyid? Example, Ibn Abi al-Hadid Mu'tazili. He's Mu'tazili, he's Sunni, with the greatest scholar of Ahlul Sunnah. He has a big description about Nahj Balagh. He asked his Ustad, his teacher, Abu Naqib, Ustad, what is it? Tell me that why when Shia comes to you, Mu'tazili, when Shia comes to you and ask about where is the grave of Zahra Salamun Alayha, you don't answer them. He said, because we're stuck there. What do you mean we're stuck there? Because they're going to ask us, where is the grave of Zahra Salamun Alayha? I have to say, it's hidden. And they want to ask me why it's hidden. I have to say because she was not happy with a group of people at that time, or people at that time. Then they want to ask us why she was not happy with the group of people or people at that time. What made her upset? Who she was upset with? And they want to take our hands and take us behind the doors, the door of Sayyidah Zahra, house of Sayyidah Zahra, and we will stuck there. We don't know how to answer. They deny Ashura. They deny many things. They can say Amir al-Mu'minin, he was about Khilafah and all the things. When it comes to Sayyidah Zahra, no one can say anything. The only thing we have to do, we ignore it. We killed Zahra? No, we didn't. It's impossible. We did it? No. That's the best way to run away from the truth. So you mean there happened some group of people at that time so obvious that Rasulullah said, Sayyida Fatima to bad'atun minni, she's part of me. With all the recommendation that tomorrow I will read more for you from the traditions of Rasulullah about Sayyidah Zahra. With all this truth, they denied it. It's very obvious that they did it, and very clearly. You mean they went against the sunnah of Rasulullah? How many times you want me to, mention a few, many occasions in Islam that they went against the sunnah of Rasulullah? For example, number one and the most obvious one. There's a guy in Medina, Marwan Hakam bin As, Marwan bin Hakam bin As, one of the worst enemies of Ahlul Bayt. When he was not even born, Rasulullah told Hakam, his father, he said, may Allah curse you and the person and the son that will come from you. Rahmatun lil alamin, he's saying, may Allah curse you and the son that comes after you. And when the son was born, when he was little one, Rasulullah exiled him from Medina and says, get out of here, go to Ta'ib and do not come back here. He didn't say when you can come back. He says, do not let them come back in Medina. At the time of the third caliph, not only they return, they took them out, out from Ta'ib and come back to Medina, they make them the governor. And they give them a lot of power. Isn't it against the sunnah of Rasulullah? The first and the second caliph, they couldn't do it. They said, this is so obvious, we shouldn't do it. The third one did it. So many times it actually happened that they went against the sunnah of Rasulullah. So Fatemiya, because it's very attached to my beliefs, is the best time that I can strengthen my beliefs and my aqa'id. The aqa'id about Ahlul Bayt, no, I'm sorry, the aqa'id about Islam. It's Fatemiya in Islam. One of the brothers just converted to Islam, to Shia. He told me, Sayyid, I think he said as a fact, the only Ahlul Sunnah in Islam are Shia. I said, what do you mean? He said, because Shia is the only one who are following Rasulullah, the Sunnah of Rasulullah. When I was not Shia, I said, no, there are many things that we're missing. Many occasions in Islam that we're missing, we're not following Rasulullah. So be careful here. Make sure that you're strong with your beliefs. Make sure you help your children. They will be strong about Fatemiya as well. Why am I saying this so much? Be strong about Fatemiya. Let's strengthen our beliefs about Sayyidah Fatima sallallahu alaiha. Ashura, it's always packed, right? Many people comes. Good, bad, in the middle. Whoever, some people that you don't see them at all. Once a year you see them in the Majlis of Imam al-Hussein Ashura. Everybody agree, right? Many people comes only once a year to the center, and that's Ashura. Perfect. Why it's not like this in Fatemiya? Why Fatemiya, the whole world is not that packed? Because Fatemiya is attached to the beliefs of Shia. Those who really know about the Maktab of Ahlul Bayt, they come to Fatemiya. Those who are really attached to it, those who are, because it's strong beliefs that we have. Not that Ashura is, no, Ashura, it has its own place and then position and all, we know about this. That's one of the beauties of Ashura that attract everybody's. But because Fatemiya is the beliefs that we have to get it, that's why I have to know who is Sayyidah Fatima sallallahu alaiha to come here to the Majlis. That's why she was very strong with her beliefs, and she wanted us to follow her in that strong belief, not halfway through it. That is why Imam Baqir, Imam Ma'soom, infallible Imam, Hujjatullah, he is saying, when we, Ahlul Bayt, we have haja, we do tawassul to our mother Zahra salamullah alayha. When you have haja, what do you say? Imam Baqir, Yabna Rasulullah, please give me my haja, right? Imam Sadiq, Imam Baqir, Yabna Rasul. They're saying when we have haja, we do tawassul to our mother Zahra salamullah alayha. Allahu Akbar. Imam Baqir is saying, when I have a fever, I put my right hand on my forehead and I say, Ya Fatima, Ya Ummah, Ya Fatima. There's something about Fatemiya. There's something about the mother of Ahlul Bayt, the mother of Imams, that I have to learn and I have to strengthen myself and my beliefs. There is only one house in Medina. There's only one house in Medina that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, salawat. When he wants to leave Medina, the last house and the last place that he stops is the house of Sayyid Zahra. When he enters Medina, the first house that he goes to is the house of Sayyid Zahra. Rasulullah, why you are doing this? Just randomly because it was close to the exit of the house? No. There is always a reason, a significant reason behind the amal and the action of Rasulullah. Let me give you an example. A lower example. When we went to Hawza, our Ustad told us, when you become an alim, your action would be so watched by people in the society. People want to watch you with the magnifier. Every single thing you do in the society, they will look at you and they see why he did it, why he didn't do it. So if a simple alim is like this, don't you know that Rasulullah, the one who brought and established Islam, thousands and thousands Muslims are watching him. Rasulullah, what is the reason that you go to the house of Zahra frequently? The first and the last step that you have, and the stop and then the station that you have, is the house of Ali alayhi salam and Zahra salam alayha. What is the reason? What are you trying to tell people of Medina and people who come after, after you and after people in Medina? There is something that you're trying to tell people about this. Stay with their beliefs. When they built the Masjid al-Nabi in Medina, because it was in the middle of the houses of people, everybody that were around the masjid, they opened a door towards what? Towards masjid. So it's closer instead of going, all around the place to come to masjid. They opened a door. And it was like this for a few times, for a while. So Rasulullah one day came and says, close all the doors except the door of the house of Amir al-Mu'minin al-Fatima sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Saddu al-abwab illa bab Ali alayhi salam. Close all the doors except the house of Amir al-Mu'minin. Number one, Quran says that Rasulullah la yantiqu anil hawa. He does not talk based on his desires. Definitely he does not act based on his desires. Whatever he's doing is Allah is telling him to do. Because they are your relatives? No, because this is a masjid. It's important. They are all jealous people at that time. You know that. I don't have to name them. You know the names. Why we should do it? Why I have to, as one of the most important and the biggest, possibly quotes and quotes, companion of you, I have to close my door towards masjid and Ali should not. Look what Rasulullah is saying. He said, Inni wallah ma sadattu shay'an wala fatahdu. I didn't close anything or I didn't open anything. Walakin umirtu bi shay'in fattabi'tu. I have been ordered to tell you to close. That's why I'm saying, if I am ordered and someone, Allah tells me to say close all the door except the door of Amir al-Mu'mineen, why are you trying to tell us? You're telling us something about the house of Amir al-Mu'mineen Zahra salam. How should I? Here's the thing, with all these facts, if someone is asleep, you can wake him up. If someone is pretending that he's asleep, you never can wake them up. Even if you bring all the reasons that you have to wake up. I'm not going to wake up. You should, because when there is a house, the reason that Rasulullah said you have to close it, because sometimes you are not pot, you're not tahir. Sometimes you have to have mandatory ghusl, you have to go and stuff like that. You have to go to masjid and you shouldn't. But the only one should have the permission, me, Rasulullah, and Ali and Fatima sallallahu. Why? You know the reason. Quran says Surah Ahzab. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Innama yuridu Allah liyudhhiba ankum ar-rijsa ahli al-bayt wa yutahhirakum tadhira. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now you know one of the reasons of this ayah. The tahir, Innama yuridu Allah. Sayyid, is it in our Shia sources that you said? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Sahih Tirmizi, volume 5, page 410, hadith 3753, Kitab Manaqib Ali ibn Abi Talib. Narrated the same thing that I told you. Number 2, Musnad Ahmad, volume 1, page 285, hadith 1514. Number 3, Mustadrak Hakim Nishaburi, Volume 3, page 135, Dhikr Manaqib Ali ibn Abi Talib, Hadith 4631. The same thing that I told you, that Rasulullah says, Allah ordered me to close, and this is the reason. So we have it somewhere else. But I have to close my eyes sometimes. Even the house of Hamza, Sayyid al-Shuhada, you know? Hamza is Sayyid al-Shuhada. Before Imam al-Hussein, Hamza was Sayyid al-Shuhada. His title was Sayyid al-Shuhada. He's still Sayyid al-Shuhada. The house of Hamza is there, the uncle of Rasulullah. The house of Abbas, the other uncle of Rasulullah, is the same scenario. Rasulullah said, close the doors. So it's not because they're relatives of mine, right? Otherwise, Hamza and Rasulullah, he loved him. Otherwise, Rasulullah says, you know what, Hamza, you keep your door open because you're my relative. No. Only Fatima salamullah alayha and Ali. Said, give me another example. Another example. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه. This is ayah of Quran. There's some buyut, some houses that Allah permitted those houses, permitted to be raised and praised in those houses. Hadith. Anas from Buraidah said, when Rasulullah recited this hadith, Abu Bakr stands up and says, Ya Rasulullah, the first caliph, Ya Rasulullah, هذا البيت منها وإشار إلى بيت علي. He's standing in front of the source of Ahlul Sunnah. He's pointing to the house of Amir al-Mu'minin. Is this house from those house? And ترفع ويذكر في حسمه. There's some places that Allah praised, permitted them to be praised and raised His name. إلى بيت علي وفاطمة عليهم السلام. قال نعم وأفضلها. أفضلها, you know what that means? Because when it says في بيوت, that means the buyut of Rasulullah himself. في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع. When it says وأفضلها, means what? Better than all these buyuts. I was giving a speech a few days ago in Northern California about Fatemiya. After the majlis, one of the brothers came. He was older, very cute. He said, Sayyid, I don't know with all this fact why they did it. It's as obvious as the sun. He was crying. He was wanting to cry. He says, as obvious as the sun. How could they deny the position and the haqqaniyya of Zahra Samraiha and Amir al-Mu'minin? I look at him and says, I have the same question. I don't know the answer. How? Yeah. They burned the door of the house of this people. They burned the door of this house, by the way. Not a simple house. The house of revelation. The hadith is saying with Jibreel. When Rasulullah was in the house of Fatima, when Jibreel wanted to come, he had to take the idhn, the ijazah, the permission to come to the house of Amir al-Mu'minin, Sayyid Zahra. They burned the door of this house, not a simple house. They burned the door of the house of Rasulullah. Let's put it this way, right? If I burn the house of your son, that means I disrespected you. Am I correct or not? If I insult your son, that means I didn't respect you as well. They burned the door of the house of Rasulullah. Tonight is the night of Shahada. That's why we have to, say the things. We have to review the things. With all the respect we have for everyone, but we shouldn't forget about our beliefs. Why am I insisting on the culture, the beliefs about Fatemiya? I said you have to make sure whatever you can, make your children strong in these beliefs. Said, can I have my children to go some schools or some trainings that are not promoting Ahlul Bayt? No, you cannot. Because the least damage that it will have for you is that your children grow up very liberal about Ahlul Bayt. How many people you want me to show to you? The clients that I have says, please, crying at my children, this and that. They're very nice, they're very mu'min, they're very... What happened? This is school and that is school, and what happened? The least damage is that they will be liberal. When you talk about Amir al-Mu'minin Zahra, they're not sensitive about this. If someone insults them, they're not sensitive about this. You tell them this is, they're very good people, alhamdulillah, but I'm Shia as well, but... Give me another example, Sayyid. A center that you all know, this center. Around. One of the board members come to me and says, Sayyid, what? You know what happened? One of the people came to me and said, let's remove the name of Amir al-Mu'mineen from Mihrab. Why? Because on Friday we have some Ahlul Sunnah come. We have to be nice to them. We have to be liberal. We have to... When you're not as strong in the beliefs. And Shaitan comes and justify it for the sake of this, for the sake of that. Remove the name of Ali from the mihrab of the Shia center. Because what? That's just normal things that happen. I have many other examples I can't tell you. I can't tell you today. And I can't tell you at all. There are some characteristics about Sayyidah Fatima salamun alayha. There's something about Sayyidah Zahra salamun alayha. I want you to pay attention. Number one, she has the revolution. Fatemiya is a revolution. It's not only the martyrdom of Zahra salamun alayha, it's a revolution, it's uprising. The same that Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he had uprising with 72 people. Sayyidah Fatima, she has uprising, she has revolution. You do not hide revolution, do you? Or you show revolution to people. This is a revolution that she had. The only revolution in the world that one ma'soom, one infallible, supported another infallible and being sacrificed for the sake of Imam. So Zahra she became sacrificed, so Amir al-Mu'mineen will not become sacrificed, right? Tomorrow I want to answer this, some of the shubahat. One of them is that if you come tomorrow is that why Amir al-Mu'mineen went to open the didn't go to open the door. Why Sayyidah Zahra should go open the door? Keep in your mind, I'm going to answer that. Number two, characteristics. This is the only uprising in the world that happened with one person, without any weapons. Imam al-Hussein, we called him As-salamu alayka ya ibn Rasulullah ayyuha al-madhloom and all, huh? Imam Madloom, he had 72 people with him. 72 people that, mashallah, they all the way to become shaheed for him. Standing in front of when he's praying to, take all the arrows. But his mother, Fatima salamu alayha, she had uprising with herself. What that means, Sayyid, that means even if you are one person in the whole world, when you know that your culture and your aqa'id is haqq and is true, you shouldn't forget about your aqa'id. That's what you have to stay with that. That's what you have to strengthen. That's where you have to strengthen these beliefs and aqa'id. Sayyidah Zahra became shaheeda for what? For defending her Imam of Ash. Now I am living at the time that my Imam of Ash is still alive. He is alive and my responsibility is to defend him, to provide the situation for his return. Message of Fatemiya is part of this. How can I do it? Not only I do not forget about my culture because of the bigger culture, because of the bigger, the dominant culture, but also I stay with my beliefs. Sayyidah Zahra salamu alayha, she didn't stay only in front of those few people that they attack the house of Zahra salamu alayha. Never say that. She was confronting the whole Medina. Majority of them, they were watching what's going on. None of them were saying anything. If someone is hitting me and you're watching over there, what that means? You either agree with that, You're like, it's not bad. Let's beat him. So why the people of Medina are watching that are burning? When he had a fire in his hands, that guy, and he was coming towards the house of Sayyidah Zahra salamu alayha, they told him, where are you going? He said, I'm going to go to the house of Ali and I want to burn it out. They said, but the Fatima is there. Look, they didn't say Ali is there. They didn't say Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein is there. They didn't say Zainab and Kulthum. They said, but Fatima is there. They know the relationship with Fatima with Rasulullah. They can't deny that one. They can say Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein are the children of Amir al-Mu'mineen. But they can't say Sayyidah Zahra salamu alayha is who? Is Bad'atun minni. Is Fatima to minni wa ana minha. Rasulullah is saying Fatima is from me and I am from Fatima. What do you mean you're from Fatima, Ya Rasulullah? Fatima is from you, we understand it. You say فَأَنَا مِنْهَا. I am from Fatima. That means you're having the same culture, the same beliefs. So if it's correct, you're telling him, where are you going? He's saying that I'm going to burn the house. They say, what, the Fatima is there? He says, even if the Fatima is there, I want to burn it out. Some people says, you know what? It just happened. They made a mistake. One of them was not that bad, got influenced by the other one. The other one was very strong. That's why. That was a pre-planned conspiracy and betrayal to Rasulullah. Can you imagine? Something just happened. They just woke up and says, let's go to the house of Ali and says, do this. Or let's occupy the Khilafah. No, it's obvious that it was very perfectly pre-planned how to do it. Years before that, possibly. Otherwise, Amir al-Mu'minin is not the one who sit down and you occupy the Khilafah. It's not the one that you go to the house of Amir al-Mu'minin and break the ribs of his wife, Fatima. Unless that's a strong conspiracy, strong, plan that they already made it. How is it possible? Only 75 days or 95 days after the demise of Rasulullah. They did it on purpose. They knew what they are doing. That is why Sayyidah Fatima, she's standing in front of the whole Medina. That is why it's very important for me. That is why Ahlul Bayt are insisting a lot on Fatemiya. They ask Imam Baqir alayhi salam, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, what is the most important musibah in Islam? They said, is Ashura? He said, yes. أعظم مصيبة السماوات والأرض. They ask Imam Baqir, is there any other musibah more tragic than the musibah of your Jad Rasul, Imam Hussein? He said, yes. Which one? The musibah of my mother Zahra. As still the reason for the innocence of Shia. Shia is violent. If Shia was violent, Amir al-Mu'minin would teach us at that time, no matter what, just kill them. Couldn't he do it? Very, very clearly. When they attacked the house, they chained Amir al-Mu'minin. They're pulling him to Khaybar, to Masjid. There's a Yahudi guy, there's a Jewish guy is standing there. He's watching what is happening. He said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Salawat. Another salawat altogether. Yahudi, what happened? You were in Khaybar and you didn't become Muslim. What happened that you converting to Islam? He said, I was in Khaybar. I saw that Ali pulled out the door of Khaybar so easily. Now you're chaining him with just, teeny tiny chains. And I see that he can actually break it and he can do a lot of things. And he's not. And he's patient and he's tolerating. There is a reason behind this. There should be a reason behind the one who pulled the door of Khaybar that is waiting here. Yes, Yahudi. There is a reason, because before all the things happen, Asma said, one day I saw Rasulullah. He called Amir al-Mu'minin Ali alayhi salam, come to the house. You can turn off the lights if you want. We're going to go to Musibah. He said, I saw that Imam Ali came to the house and Rasulullah is whispering something into the ear of Ali. She said, I don't know what was going on, but I see that this vein of the neck of Ali is popping, is coming out and in. Ghayratullah al-Kubra, Amir al-Mu'minin, huh? He said, I just saw that Ali asked one question, Ya Rasulullah, what? If I wait, would Islam be safe or not? Look at the aqidah of Ali alayhi salam. And now I sometimes hesitate. Should I do it? Should I stay with it? There are some threats around us. Should I, leave some part of Islam? Amir al-Mu'minin is saying that, Ya Rasulullah, if I do sabr, if I be patient, would Islam be safe or not? Rasulullah said, yes. Ali said, I will wait. That's why, Jewish guy, that's why Ali is waiting here. That's why he's waiting around, in this musibah against the whole Medina. He's doing nothing. If Shia was violent, he would teach us. Ahlul Bayt would teach us what to do. But we Shia learn from our mother Zahra salamullah alayha to stay with our beliefs, but strongly with mantiq and with logic and reasons to defend it.
Good for you guys. Good for you guys, brothers and sisters, my dear brothers and sisters who are here in Fatemiya. Know your values, that you have been invited to come to Fatemiya, one of the greatest and the most important beliefs that Shia has. I want to take you to the house of Zahra Salamullah alayha. I want you to close your eyes. Let's go with me over there. See what is going on in the house of Zahra Salamullah alayha these days and nights. Let me tell you something. They said at that time Imam Hassan was only 6 or 7 years old. Imam Hussein 1 year younger than Imam Hussein. Zainab was around 4 or 5 years old. All young children. We have a lot of young children around us, right? Imagine if something like that happened to their mother in front of the eyes of the children. This mother, that she was only 18 years old, one of the du'as that she has, she's saying, Ilahi ajjal wafati sari'a. Ya Allah, it's enough. No, with living over 1,000 years, he doesn't have this dua. Fatima salamullah alayha, with 18 years of life, she's saying, Ilahi ajjal wafati sari'a. Ya Allah, it's enough for Fatima to live in this society, in this world. What happened to Zahra to say that? Let me say, Ya Zahra, oh mother, you might leave this dunya, you might get away from the people of Medina, those people that oppressed you and made you shaheed. But if you leave this dunya, do you know what would happen to your husband Ali? Who is going to take care of your Zainab and Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein Zahra? Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum. اللهم صل على فاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها بعدد ما أحاط به علمه. You know, they said people that they want to pass away, usually a few hours or one day before they pass away, they get better, they get some energy, they stand up, they do something. They said Zahra salamullah alayha, sometimes before her death, she has a better feeling, she stands up, she changed her clothing. Asma is saying that I saw that she is combing the hair of Zainab salamullah alayha. I do not know if she is doing this with the same hand that they hit her arm and she cannot move her hand or not. I don't know why she's combing the hair of Zainab, if she's crying or not. The last moment, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein went to masjid to call their father. Oh Father, come back home. We don't think you will see our mother alive. He's the one who pulled out the door of Khaybar, right? They said in this short distance, when Ali was coming home from masjid, they said few times he fell down on his face. He sat down many times in this short distance. That was the last moment and the worst thing that Ali was afraid of. They said that when he came home, he saw Zahra in her deathbed. Ya Zahra, that is what I was afraid of. To see that I am still alive and you are living this dunya. Sayyid Zahra said, Ya Ali, come here, I want to tell you about my wills and my recommendation. Ya Ali, what should a mother say? After me, take care of my children and Aitan, Ya Ali. Allah, imagine what is going on into the heart of Amir al-Mu'mineen. They said Ali took the head of Zahra and pulled it towards his chest. Imagine the most intimate couple in this world. Definitely angels are crying in this musibah. Zahra, what do you want to tell me? What is your wasiyah? Ya Ali, qassilni bil-layl, daffinni bil-layl. Ya Ali, wash my body and give ghost to me at night. Ya Ali, bury my body at night. Don't let any of those people come to my funeral. I don't want to see any of them. The last moment between Ali and Zahra, Salamullahi alayha. I said that, Ya Zahra, you are living, but imagine after you what these people are going to do with your husband Ali. Assalamu alayka ya Fatima, ya bint Rasulullah. Assalamu alayka ayyatuha al-madlumatu al-maqsuba. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم عجل وليك الفرج والعافية والناس ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, بحق الزهراء, hasten the zuhur of her son Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, give us tawfiq to be among the true followers of him. Ya Allah, help our youth, make them successful in dunya wal akhirah. Remove the obstacles towards their marriage. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, help the ummah of Islam. Provide the opportunity for more izzah and honor of ummah. Ya Allah, help our friends who are sick, heal them all at this time. Those who passed away, send the thawab and reward out of this majlis to their soul, inshaAllah. Rahimallahu man yaqra'u al-fatihata ma'a as-salawat.